Oh, hey, I was just playing some Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch, which reminds me about what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about why the Joy-Con mouse is going to be the #1 most successful hardware decision that Nintendo has ever made. First things first, how do we know that Nintendo is going to implement this feature into the Switch 2? Truthfully, we don't. But while I don't like to focus on leaks, the leaks have pretty much confirmed this for months now. And going back to the trailer of the Switch 2, we see in the video that it has the optical sensor. And more importantly than that, in this segment, look at this. I mean, come on, they are racing on the table and they have mouse tails. They have mouse tails, okay? They're a mice. It's a mice. It's mice, okay? Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, first things first, shooters are not taken seriously on the Nintendo Switch at all. Unless you're a 5-year-old kid that got a Switch for Christmas playing Fortnite, chances are you're going to be playing something else on your Switch besides a shooting game. But I do want to briefly talk about why shooters are actually low-key slept on the Switch and have been for a really, really long time now. So you'll have to excuse me, my computer is kind of broken right now, so we have to switch to my scuffed laptop, so I'll meet you there. I want to demonstrate why most people don't actually want to play shooters on a Nintendo system. Most people don't even know about what I'm going to show you. First off, let's turn motion controls off, because this is what most people will normally end up trying first, especially if you come from something like COD back in the day and you want to play Splatoon. So I can't move the Joy-Cons to actually aim. I have to use the stick. So as you can see right now, it looks pretty stiff moving around the camera. So I'm moving it around, I'm shooting at the targets. I know people that are used to sticks will be more attuned to doing this off rip, but for someone like me that's been playing mouse and keyboard shooters their whole life, this is just not an option. Especially when I want to do flicks. You can see, even with moving the character as well, there's an inherent built-in time it takes to even be able to physically turn my character around. So this is when Splatoon players introduced gyro aiming to me. So we'll go back in here and we'll turn motion controls on. Now, I'm sure you're somewhat familiar with gyro already, but if you don't know, it's a full range of expression and motion with the Joy-Con themselves. Now, when I first started trying gyro controls, it felt like I was using a mouse in my mouth to control. It was horrible. It felt very not natural. But the better you get at it, you can actually realize doing things like flicking really fast can be really, really viable. And you have range of motion that just sticks alone would not be able to perform for you. I can easily flick to the targets, and I can use the right stick to subtly move my camera as well for those smaller flicks. Gyro aiming is really prevalent in games like Fortnite even. Like professional Fortnite players will use like PS4 controllers and gyro aiming because it's the thing that most similarly represents a mouse. And combine this with something like aim assist in most games, you're going to have an unparalleled level of accuracy and control over your character as opposed to just using the sticks. So why is this important? Well, let's go back and talk about it on my main setup. I'm sure you can surmise from what I showed you that gyro motion is optimal for these types of games, especially when you don't have native mouse and keyboard support like the Switch one doesn't. And it's totally understandable that most people won't want to go out and learn gyro controls because they do feel weird and it does take time to get used to. For me, it took multiple weeks to even be able to aim at one target with gyro controls. Once you get them down though, they are amazing. So the Switch one has stick controls, gyro controls, but a severe lack of entry for keyboard and mouse gamers that aren't willing to learn it. So now we're starting to see why the Switch 2's mouse controls is going to be a huge entry barrier just removed right off the bat. Now you may be thinking, okay, but the Joy-Con feels really weird to use already. How are you gonna put it on a surface, you know, even if the Joy-Con is going to be bigger, and comfortably move it around? Well, as you can already see here, people on Reddit are already 3D printing mouse accessories for the Joy-Con. Something like this does look exactly like how I would want a mouse's ergonomics to be. And you can only assume that Nintendo is probably bundling in their own originally manufactured accessories for this, maybe even bundled in with the console itself. Or, you know, you at home right now could just try taking out a Joy-Con and sliding it on your table. Honestly, it already doesn't even feel that bad, especially with the Joy-Con super tactile triggers and bumpers. Another thing I want to bring up that I find really interesting is Microsoft actually did sign a deal with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to the Switch for 10 years. I think this alone really does just demonstrate Nintendo's confidence in this new feature. Seeing as there hasn't been a Call of Duty game on the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo consoles in a long time, you can really feel Nintendo's confidence with this one. So yeah, ultimately, it is sort of a niche and what some people may think is an outdated gimmick, but I think that this is really going to make the Nintendo Switch 2 super accessible accessible to shooting games, and this isn't even beginning to scratch the surface of menuing. Imagine in Animal Crossing, you know, and you're playing New Horizons, you have to click every single fish in your inventory, you know, right A, right A, right A, right A, right A. It's annoying, right? So we go back, put the Joy-Con on its side, we start clicking, we sell the whole inventory. Mario Maker, you know, you drag all the tools of the level and you make your level super quick and super easily. Overall, I do think this is going to be a massive upgrade to the Switch 2, and on its own, really a selling point for the console. As a competitive FPS gamer myself, I am very much looking forward to trying this, and I hope that it's something that we can really use comfortably for the long run. Anyways, as always, what do you guys think? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you have any other utility that you can see for this feature from Nintendo, or if you're just not looking forward to it at all, or if you don't even think that this is going to be a real feature that the Switch 2 will have, even though I'm fairly confident it will be. And also, as always, I stream almost every single day on twitch.tv/AaronFGC, so come feel free to chat with me about the console or anything you're looking forward to Nintendo related, or if you just want to hang out with me.